I don't appreciate accusations being made against my officers. Especially when you have no proof to back up your claim.
I am not accusing your officers of anything, not directly. I am simply not leaving anything to question. And the Otterton murder trial has a great many questions that were never answered. Many of them dealing with the response time of the first officer on the scene, and the anonymous tip that led to the action being taken in the first place. And on that subject, was the call ever identified?
Miss Hobbs. Well, maybe things are different in the Commonwealth, but here in Zootopia, anonymous means unidentified. We are not in the habit of hunting down calls of this type for one very simple and obvious reason. If we did, then mammals would stop giving anonymous tips, and all the precious arrests that come as a result, removing dangerous mammals from streets, would stop. Is that all you've come to me about? Or would you like to ask another stupid question?
I am aware, and I'm also aware of cases where anonymous tips have been used to cover up crimes, or frame another ant mammal for a crime. As the case may be with Otterton, combined with the especially rapid arrival of the first responder, it does bring a shadow of doubt to my mind, and because it brings it to my mind, it will be brought to the attention of the court. The way I see it, Chief Bogo, is that you have two primary options here. The first is to look over the copy of the report. I have noted inconsistencies of the oddities and everything I am likely to bring to the attention of the court during the appeal. This will allow us to discuss and possibly iron out some of the problems, to come to an agreement on the language used when this file is presented as evidence. You might even find yourself noticing the same problems that I have, which could lead us working together to correct a miscarriage of justice, one that happened under your watch.
And the second?
The second is that I present the same evidence to the courts without your assistance in translating the events leading up to the arrest of Mr. Otterton. It will be entirely up to me on how I present and interpret what I have been given to work with. And given the very public nature of the trial, we both know that it won't take long for every bit to reach the public at large. I won't be gentle. I will be forced to let them know that I received no help from the ZPD in my investigation. A mammal's life is on the line, and I will make sure that every second is put under the microscope in the court's eyes, and those of the public. I don't want that to sound like a threat, but I'm not going to be stonewalled because you feel you have to protect your officers. If you really believe that the actions of the ZPD are beyond reproach in this case, then you'll have to take the second opinion. But if there is any doubt in your mind, even a tiny bit, then I hope you will have a look at that file and help me. Show the ZPD's willingness to take care of its own means more than shielding them when they do wrong.
You've made the inevitable seem like a favor to me as much as a threat. If I find anything unusual or seem that your notes outline possible misconduct or misdirection, I'll be sure to discuss it with you, as long as you know that if I find them, it will lead to an investigation of my own. Until then, do you have any further questions?
Just one. Who were the first responders? The case file I was given records of all officers present on the scene, but not who arrived first. I will have questions for them too.
Officer Fangmeyer and Lieutenant Weaselton.
Oh, that explains a few things.
Do I need to ask if you know why the lieutenant called in his remaining sick days?
To avoid the humiliation of walking around the ZPD with a limp? Don't look at me, Chief. I promise I didn't lay a finger on them.
I did, which could make it problematic to question him. To say he might be a hostile witness might be an understatement.
Would you care to elaborate?
He came to see me in my new office, so I'm managing to arrive only 8 minutes after I did. His attitude was hostile, aggressive. He claimed he was looking for my bodyguard in connection to the death of the tiger, who tried to murder me. When I failed to produce him, he became angry. I was afraid that his actions were heading towards violence, so I persuaded him to stop with a kick to the groin.
Clawhauser!
Yes, Chief?
Get Weaselton on the phone and tell him that I expect to see him in my office within the hour, limp or not.
Sure thing, Chief.
I will make sure that he is ready to talk to you when you need him. Now, get out of my station. I'll let you know when I'm finished with these files.
I'm an administrator. Valter is on the line for you. Send the call through. Of course, Administrator. Kyubi, it is always such a pleasure to see you. I was beginning to wonder if your assistant told you I was waiting. General, it is good to hear from you. I was a minute away from calling you myself. Thank you for taking that step for me. So it would seem that tiger was a bit of a surprise. We have yet to identify him. I was wondering if you might be able to provide some insight? That is an interesting thing to wonder. Maybe we can talk about it over dinner tonight. It has been far too long since I have had the pleasure of your company. Nathaniel, you old scoundrel. I'm afraid I have too much work tonight for any such enticing distractions. I am free for lunch tomorrow, however. We could meet then. Your office? My office. Of course. We can have a nice meal, talk business, and see if your desk is still as sturdy as it was during our first meeting. Not necessarily in that order. I have a new desk, much bigger, but just as sturdy. We shall see. Won't we, Nathan? Kill him. So, no lunch? Tonight? No, he's expecting a guest, and I would hate to disappoint him. Midday. In his own base of power, and make sure he knows why. Alright, I'll see you tomorrow night. Thank you.